So if I were to design a Ford Maverick here, I really don't have to do a lot of styling because it's such a basic design, and that's what I love about the Maverick. Ford is on a completely different level with its new vehicles and especially its designs. We have the new Bronco, which in my book is one of the best looking modern designs honoring the original Bronco of the 1970s. And then we have, of course, the Ford F-150 Lightning, which electrifies the best-selling vehicle in the world with power up to 563 horsepower, 300 miles of range, and 10,000 pounds of towing capacity. Ford is really killing it at the moment, and it continues with their brand new compact truck, the Ford Maverick. So in this video, I'm going to share some of the spec and tech of the new Maverick, discuss the new design, both front, side, and rear, and share my opinion on it. I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. This is a truck that I personally would actually buy. So I'm from Sweden, and the Ford F-150 in Sweden would be equivalent of a tank. It feels massive over there. It's a great truck, but I would be using maybe 20% of its potential at most in my day-to-day activities. I don't need all that space and mass to haul my beach gear or bike. I need something smaller, more fuel efficient, and something that won't break the bank but can still get the job done. And that to me is either the Ford Ranger, which I've been a huge fan of for a long time, especially the earlier ones, which are the definition of a small workhorse truck. Nothing unnecessary has been added to it. You get a simple machine, and with that comes great reliability as well. There's not a lot of things that can actually break and cause a complete failure of the truck. However, now with this new smaller Maverick package, they just stepped it up a notch in the styling department. It's not a heavy-duty truck, and I think that's what's going to make this a massive hit. It will bring in new buyers that never really considered a truck before. It has a 1,500 pound payload, 4,000 pound max towing capacity, and an estimated 40 miles per gallon range on a single tank with the standard hybrid powertrain. And here is the most impressive number to me with the Ford Maverick, is that it starts at just $21,490, which means that Ford really wants this to get out and sold to the masses. So why exactly is it so cheap? Is it a quality issue or what's going on here? Well, it is a unibody design, and it shares a lot of the underpinnings and the platform with the Ford Bronco and the Ford Escape, for example. And this unibody design makes it cheaper to produce, and also that is of course reflected in the sales pricing. It's not as capable as a body on frame truck, obviously, but if that's what you're looking for, you have a ton of options on the market right now. But there really aren't that many unibody trucks for people like myself, for example. So what about the powertrains? The base model comes with a 2.5 liter inline 4 combined with an electric motor, and this is front wheel drive only. It puts out 191 horsepower and can go 500 miles on a single tank. Not bad at all. The other option is a 4-wheel drive option, and that comes with a turbocharged 2 liter putting out 250 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. And this is probably the version I would go with because I don't think front-wheel drive trucks make a lot of sense. It's kind of, they just don't go together. If you have a truck, or if I have a truck, I definitely want 4-wheel drive on the truck. And then on top of that, 191 horsepower seems a little weak by today's standard, but it's still a good, I guess, entry-level truck since it is built on the same platform as the Bronco, which also comes with these two powertrains here. And you can have that if you just need a basic truck and never really consider going off-road or anything like that. So for $21,490, I think the front-wheel drive version is still a very good option. On the inside, you have an 8-inch center screen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. You also have a lot of storage space on compartments all spread all around the cabin inside, under the rear bench seats as well. So now let's jump into Photoshop and let's talk about the really exciting stuff here. Let's talk about the design. So I'm going to start with the side view with the Maverick here, and the reason for that is that, as I said with the Ranger, this feels like it's the quintessential design package of what I think a truck should look like. It is a unibody, but the package itself is still a very basic truck. And this is something I talk about in my sketch courses. When you're sketching a truck here, for example, let me show you what I teach in the sketch courses and how that reflects in the Ford Maverick here. So what I say is you always need a couple of packages. So and compartments. You need to cut up the design, what type of vehicle you want to sketch. If you want to sketch a truck, for example, what you want to do is just break it up into 3 different packages like this, or compartments. So you have the front package, and then you have the cabin right here, and then you have the bed itself, which extends a little longer. So this is my box sketching technique right here. So you box up your package, and that way you get the proportions of whatever it is you're sketching. And from here, you can basically start to design your truck. So if I were to design a Ford Maverick here, I really don't have to do a lot of styling because it's such a basic design. And that's what I love about the Maverick. It is the basicness of the design here, and that it isn't trying to be something that it's not. It's trying to be just what you need, and it's not a heavy-duty truck, as I said, and that's exactly what I love about this package. And I think we need more of this type of vehicles in today's market, because I think really there is a big market for trucks like this, unibody trucks, or it can be a body on frame, but just smaller size trucks that has its place in the marketplace. If you want to learn more about these sketching techniques that I'm showing here, you can check out my course down in the description below. So the Ford Maverick is supposed to compete with the Hyundai Santa Cruz, and we also have the Honda Ridgeline, which are 2 unibody trucks out there, smaller sized. The thing why I prefer the Maverick here is the styling. So look at the Santa Cruz, for example. It's a little bit too overstyled for me. It doesn't feel like it's congruent with the truck philosophy, which is supposed to be as basic as possible, almost pure functionality and less styling. So look at the Hyundai Santa Cruz, and it has a lot of styling going on in it. And if we look at the Honda Ridgeline, to me it just feels a little too weak in its design. It just doesn't feel that trucky at all. And look, if we look at this design right here, this is what I want a small sized truck to look like. We have the very basic shapes, as I showed you down here. We have the front, the middle box right here going here, and then we have the third box right here, and then we have of course the first box going up here. And from there is just a very simple package. You just create the A-pillar, and there's not a lot going on. There's a lot of horizontal lines all over the place, horizontal and vertical lines that I think suits the truck segment, obviously. And I want to show you the graphics in the front and also the graphics in the rear, and what I like and dislike about that as well. So let's jump in to the front here and just look at how refreshing a dialed back design can be for a new car. This looks like it could be maybe a 2010 design or something like that, but it just feels refreshing to not have all the body lines and stuff going on down here, for example, in the bumper, or some crazy styling and lines going on up here with the headlights or something like that. It's just a very simple, dialed back, refreshing design. And I love how the way that the Ford, the line in the middle here, this bar, it kind of stretches into the main headlights, and the main headlights wrap around the indicator. I think that's the turn signal or something in there. It just looks good. It's a refreshing design. It's a huge lights as well, and they don't look too complicated to maybe replace by yourself. This up here is the daytime running light up here, which creates some identity if you look at it at nighttime, but nothing too crazy. And look at the horizontal lines all over the place as well. So this is very suitable for this segment, the truck segment itself. I think this is this and kind of the SUV segment are the only segments that really benefit from having this almost architectural approach to the design itself. And if we have a look at the rear view here, same here, we have a little more styling here in the deck lid, right here, for example, you have these angles here. But this is so subtle that it doesn't really bother me that we have some additional styling, and this also creates almost like a frame for the nameplate itself, so it kind of works as well. And then very simple taillights here as well, almost completely rectangular. We just have a couple of chamfers in the bottom and the top of this truck here, the design. Other than that, super functional, not even painted bumpers, which I prefer if I'm owning a truck and I'm planning to go off-road or something like that. I don't want to be nervous or anxious about scraping the paint on my bumpers. I don't really want to care about that. So I think this is the right approach to go here with the no color bumpers front and back. So my final thoughts on the Ford Maverick here. I think this is a good strategy by Ford to release something like this. And as they said themselves, they wanted to release the Ford Maverick to bring in new customers to the truck segment. And that's exactly what I think this will do. I'm not sure if this is going to be where this is going to be sold, but I would expect if they decide to sell this in Europe or let this go on sale in Europe, it's actually going to do pretty well. I think this is a very European-like approach to a truck design. Clean, not massive V8s, which is not going to work in Europe. It has a small inline 4, and I would love to see if Ford decides to make a Maverick Lightning. That would be super interesting, specifically with this smaller package. You get a longer range and you still get the functionality of a truck in an electric platform. It's not as big as the F-150 Lightning, and you can bring the range up, maybe add a dual motor front and rear and have it all-wheel drive. That would be a very interesting truck, and probably something I would like to have myself in the garage. So Ford, if you're listening, please make a Ford Maverick Lightning and put that on sale within the near future. I would love to see that. As always, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the Ford Maverick here. Is this your type of truck, or do you prefer the body on frame style trucks more? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.